If you ask a standard AI model for professional advice, you usually get a response that averages out the entire internet. It's competent, but it lacks the highly specialized expertise required for complex engineering or strategic workflows. To get high-level output, we have to isolate a specific intelligence. We do this by building a custom gem, a dedicated AI entity configured with strict behavioral constraints and deep domain knowledge. Before we build one, you need two things: an active Google account and access to the Gemini interface with the Gems feature enabled. Transitioning to a custom gem moves us away from standard chat mechanics. This build process is designed to reconfigure the interface into a deterministic strategic partner. Step 1 is defining who this partner is. Open a standard new chat in the Gemini interface to begin persona extraction. Look at the prompt on this screen. We're asking the base model to define the key characteristics, behavioral traits, and operating frameworks of a highly specific expert role relevant to our current problem. A common mistake here is asking for a broad title, like engineer or marketer. If the role is too wide, the resulting persona will be too shallow to provide useful advice. When you specify a narrow specialization, the AI generates a detailed psychological profile, listing exact professional traits and operational frameworks. Read through the response and carefully select and copy those generated characteristics. These will form the foundation of our new build. If we skip this step, the AI operates without a rigidly defined persona. It will inevitably provide average, unactionable advice. Now we move to the architectural phase. Go to the top left corner of the Gemini application and click the 3 horizontal lines to expand the menu. Open the Gems panel and select New Gem. This brings you to the Gem Manager screen, where we will configure the tool. First, give your gem a precise name and write a brief description of exactly what this specific tool will do for you. Next, go to the Core Instructions box. Paste the persona characteristics we copied earlier directly into this field. This chart maps out the structural framework we use to format those instructions. It requires 4 specific components to govern the AI's behavior: persona, task, context, and format. First is persona. This is the specific expertise and psychological profile the AI must draw from, which we just pasted in. Next is the task. This tells the AI the precise, singular action it is required to execute. Then we provide context. These are the essential background variables and constraints the AI needs to process your task accurately. Finally, we set the format. This dictates the exact structural requirements the AI's output must adhere to, whether that's a bulleted list, a table, or a specific tone. The most common failure point during this phase is leaving out explicit behavioral constraints. If you give contradictory instructions, you create logic errors in the output. Applying this rigid architectural framework ensures the gem operates predictably and consistently within its defined domain. With the configuration complete, start a new chat specifically with your custom gem to begin the testing phase. Input a highly domain-specific problem or question. We need to push the gem to its operational boundaries. Even with strict constraints, these models predict statistical likelihoods. They can still hallucinate information, resulting in probabilistic errors. A slight miscalculation might look plausible, but it causes the entire structure to fail. You must manually evaluate the output against 4 criteria: accuracy of the facts, potential bias in the training data, relevancy to your prompt, and consistency in the logic. Looking at this diagram, we see a standard Gemini model's response on the left, relying on shallow, linear nodes. On the right, the custom gem generates a deep, structured, and interconnected output for the exact same prompt. Because the AI lacks real-world physical experience, it cannot verify its own work. Your professional judgment remains the ultimate non-negotiable failsafe. Your custom gem is now fully configured, verified against the data, and ready for deployment. The primary utility of this tool is soliciting high-level feedback. You can use it to stress test your own ideas and uncover operational blind spots you might have missed. To deploy this tool to others, navigate to the Explore Gems menu shown here. Find your custom gem and click the share icon next to its name. Sharing these specialized gem scales expert knowledge across an entire organization. It gives your team direct access to a unified intelligence network, allowing everyone to generate better ideas faster.